Hello again. It must once be admitted that the competition is pretty stiff for the title of the least intelligent MP in Britain today. Our last Prime Minister and her first Chancellor of the Exchequer must surely be in the running for this unenviable distinction, as of course is Diane Abbott. There are indeed many strong contenders, but for sheer stupidity combined with jaw-dropping ignorance, I feel that David Lammy, the MP for Tottenham, Shadow Foreign Secretary, and, almost unbelievably, one-time Minister of State for Higher Education and Intellectual Property in Gordon Brown's administration, must surely romp home by a furlong. Connoisseurs of such things recall with great pleasure David Lammy's appearance on an edition of Celebrity Mastermind in 2003, in which his specialist subject was boxer Muhammad Ali. It was the general knowledge round, though, which provided endless amusement when Lammy revealed, for example, that he thought that Marie Antoinette had won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1903. I give a link to this magnificent performance in the description to this video. It is fashionable to describe prominent black figures these days as diversity hires, but in David Lammy's case it was quite literally true, because when MP Bernie Grant died, it was immediately decided that his successor would also have to be a black man. The colour of Lammy's skin was therefore a crucial factor in his choice to replace Grant as MP for Tottenham. I thought that I would let viewers know that David Lammy has not lost his touch since that ill-fated episode of Mastermind, and that he is still willing and able to display his lack of intellectual ability at the drop of the proverbial hat. I spoke recently about the breakdown by ethnicity of those candidates who passed the solicitor's qualifying examination this summer, a point to which I shall return shortly. In the description to this video, I give a link to a piece from the Law Gazette, where David Lammy is talking about the lack of solicitors who are partners in the firms for which they work in this country. This is, for Lammy, a scandal. In fact, only 1% of partners in British firms of solicitors are black, a situation which Lammy described as diabolical. Speaking of the study which revealed this, he said that firms need to understand their responsibilities. Bonuses and acceleration of the firm ought to be measured against that backdrop, because that 1% figure is diabolical against the proportion of black and mixed heritage people in our society. In other words, to use a fashionable jargon, from Lammy's perspective, the number of black partners in solicitors' firms should reflect the society they serve, rather than the ability of these partners themselves to be good solicitors. Of course, most normal and reasonably intelligent people will at once spot the flaw in this reasoning. Being a solicitor is a highly skilled job which requires a fairly good level of intelligence. 2 points spring immediately to mind. The first is that 11% of partners are of South Asian origin, so racism is very unlikely to be the explanation for this state of affairs. The second is that when we look at the percentages of candidates who passed the solicitor's qualifying examination in July this year, just 23% of black candidates passed, as opposed to 63% of white ones. Right there is, of course, the problem, in that 3 times as many white people get through those tough exams compared to black people. Does anybody think that this might be one factor in the apparent lack of black partners in firms of solicitors in this country? We can always rely upon David Lammy to say something foolish and ill-considered, whether it's claiming on Mastermind that the reign of Henry VIII was followed by Henry VII, or hinting that racism is preventing black solicitors in Britain from getting on.